There's so many dates to remember.
Mm-hmm. I know. I get all the
anniversaries, like kids' birth
May
dates.
14th.
We've been married for.
How did you know it was time to get married?
How did we know?
People would say, if you can't sleep, take something to sleep. The Lord has let me sleep just fine.
And I don't know how the executives over at Turning Point USA sleep at night.
Something is seriously off in this story, and the internet can feel it. Because just when everyone thought the drama surrounding Charlie Kirk's final months couldn't get any darker, a new leak has exploded across social media. A leak that people claim exposes a side of his marriage to Erika that no one was supposed to see. What makes this even more disturbing isn't just a supposed secret note. It's the timing, the behavior, the moments that fans are now replaying with a completely different perspective. Clips from old events, awkward interactions, and icy glances that once seemed harmless now look eerily intentional to viewers who swear the signs were always there. Online users are calling it everything from betrayal to a hidden power struggle, and some even believe Charlie himself was trying to warn people before everything fell apart. But the biggest shock? Many say the leak was an accident, that someone tried to bury it, silence it, erase it before the internet caught on. And now, the questions are louder than ever. What was Charlie trying to say? Why does it point back to Erika? And who wanted this note gone so badly? The truth is messier than anyone expected. Charlie Kirk has always been one of those public figures who seem completely in control. Whether people agreed with him or not, one thing was certain. He knew how to command a room. His speeches were fiery, his energy was sharp, and his confidence was unmistakable. To his supporters, Charlie represented strength, discipline, and unwavering purpose. To critics, he was controversial, loud, and unpredictable. But either way, his presence was impossible to ignore. And at his side, always polished, always poised, was Erika. The internet had crafted a kind of mythology around her. She was a glamorous half of the duo, former beauty pageant competitor, media personality, someone who knew how to light up a stage with the same intensity Charlie brought to a microphone. Together, they looked like a power couple built for the spotlight. Their story seemed picture-perfect on the outside. Career growth, expanding influence, events, interviews, speeches, a public life filled with confidence and ambition. But behind that polished exterior, online users claim, were cracks. Cracks people now swear were obvious, even if no one wanted to acknowledge them at the time. Old clips are now resurfacing, going viral again with comments like, "Something was always off. Why did we notice this in the moment? Look at her expression here. This wasn't normal." One clip being widely shared shows a couple at a speaking event. Charlie is mid-sentence when Erika cuts in sharply, taking over the answer before he even finishes. At the time, viewers brushed it off as confidence. Now, people are saying it looks like a power struggle, a subtle tug-of-war that had been hiding in plain sight. In another resurfaced interview, Charlie appears unusually tense. His smile is tight, his voice slightly shaky. Meanwhile, Erika sits beside him looking perfectly composed, even impatient. The comment section under that clip has exploded. At True Queen, why does he seem scared to talk? This is uncomfortable. At Dramedy Coder, her energy is so different here, like she's the one running everything. At Pop Culture Intel, I didn't notice this before. Maybe the rumors weren't totally random. And this is where the story takes its first chilling turn. People online began connecting these moments to allegations that Charlie was having private doubts, that he felt overwhelmed, that something in his personal life wasn't matching the image he was putting out publicly. Now, this is all speculation, and proven unverified and fueled entirely by online discussion. But the internet doesn't need confirmation to build a narrative. It only needs patterns. And people believe they've found one. For example, a photo from a private Tapuza dinner leaked last year. In it, Erika appears to be directing the staff, speaking with authority, while Charlie looks distracted and uneasy. At the time, fans thought it was just stress. But after the recent note leak, users are calling this photo symbolic of the entire shift in dynamic. One viral tweet reads, "She looks like the CEO. He looks like he's fading into the background." Another says, This was a night everything changed. Look at their faces. No one knows if that's true, but once the internet decides there's a before and after, the story starts writing itself. Then there's the now infamous incident from an onstage Q&A where Erika freezes up when asked a simple question about an important date. She stalls, stumbles, looks visibly confused. Back then, it was just an awkward moment. Everyone has them, but now the clip is being shared with captions like, "This moment hits different after the leak." It doesn't help that a few former TPUSA members began making vague posts after Charlie's passing. None accused Erika of anything. Nothing direct, nothing factual. But their tone was enough to ignite a fire. Some things will never see the light of day. If you knew what actually happened behind the scenes, people warned him. Were they talking about personal conflicts? Organizational disputes? Something entirely unrelated? No one knows. But in gossip culture, vague posts are gasoline. The internet latched onto these crumbs and started weaving theories. One thread in particular went viral, claiming that Charlie had been feeling spiritually uneasy. Another argued that Erika's rising role in the organization created tension. Others said the couple's public image was only the surface of a far more complicated relationship. Again, none of this is verified. It's all internet chatter, speculation, and fan-made narratives. But the timing, the resurfaced clips, the tone of old interactions, the online reactions from people who once worked close to them, it all created the perfect storm. A storm that now surrounds a mysterious secret note. And if the internet is right...
And I've never felt that. I'm not angry with God. Never have been. Never have I questioned, why, Lord, are you putting me through this? Why are you testing me? Why are you... Because God is so good and He's so sovereign.
I could have never forgiven Tyler Robinson for whatever part he played in this. And obviously I'm saying whatever part he played in this because I don't believe that he was the lone person involved. I don't even think he's the person that killed
Charlie Kirk and Erika Kirk filed for a disillusionment of marriage 2 days before his assassination. There are actual text messages back and forth between Erika and Charlie discussing a separation of assets and how they are going to come out publicly and when the right
time Erika got involved in a turning point event, something felt off. People got pulled from their posts for no clear reason, replaced with names nobody recognized. What most people don't realize is that Erika had already started acting like CEO before Charlie even died. She was giving orders, making executive calls, speaking for the organization in ways that made all of us uncomfortable. Charlie would try to intervene and she'd just talk over him like he didn't even matter anymore.
How many dates to remember?
Mm-hmm. I know. I get all the anniversaries, like kids' birth May
dates.
14th.
How did we've been married for?
How did you know it was time to get married?
How did we know? You just know.
It's also don't waste your time.
Don't waste your time. And plus, we were ready to start our life together.
That's pushback against the media on COVID, on lockdowns, on Ukraine, on the border. So like, maybe we should also ask a question. Is the media totally presenting the truth when it comes to Israel? Just a question, that maybe we shouldn't believe everything the media says, because I know I've been conditioned to ask a lot more critical questions over the last year in Israel too.
And so I was on a pilgrimage with my mom in Israel, and I turned around and I saw someone who looked super.
Comments with concerns, saying things like he's stressed and something's bothering him. Around the same time, Erika's presence began shifting. She wasn't just standing beside Charlie anymore. She was stepping forward, speaking more, taking control of details that used to fall under his responsibilities. Supporters thought it was teamwork. Critics said it felt like a takeover. Then came June, when a rehearsal clip accidentally slipped onto social media before being deleted. The video showed Erika correcting Charlie mid-sentence, her tone sharp and commanding. Charlie didn't argue. He didn't push back. He just nodded, looking exhausted. The clip went viral with captions like, "She was running everything, and look at his face. This says it all." Again, it was only speculation, but the internet ran with it. By July, vague posts from people claiming to be former insiders started appearing across forums and Twitter. None of them accused anyone directly, but the wording was ominous enough to stir a frenzy. People have no idea what was happening behind closed doors, and he didn't deserve what he was dealing with. Whether these comments had anything to do with Charlie personally, no one really knew, but online, timing becomes evidence. Around the same time, fans noticed Charlie pausing more often during interviews, sometimes staring down at his notes with distracted, almost troubled expression. A live stream clip of him going silent for several seconds went viral, with users commenting, "This isn't the Charlie we know," and "You look spiritually defeated." Then August arrived, bringing the moment that would later spark thousands of theories: Erika's date freeze. She was asked a simple question about a date she normally recited effortlessly. Instead, she hesitated, blinked rapidly, and stumbled over her words. At the time, people laughed it off, calling it stage nerves or fatigue. But months later, that clip resurfaced with comments like, "She knew more than she was letting on," and "This moment hits different after everything that happened." September intensified the speculation. Erika delivered an event opening on her own, something usually done by Charlie. She seemed comfortable, confident, fully in command. Meanwhile, Charlie appeared increasingly anxious, rubbing his hands together, shifting in his seat, sometimes forcing smiles that didn't quite reach his eyes. Fans slowed down footage frame by frame, pointing out tremors in his hands, tight smiles, and quick glances toward Erika for reassurance. A tweet that went viral said, "He looks scared to speak. Why did no one notice?" October is when the betrayal narrative truly took shape. A thread circulated showing what some users claimed were private messages or diary lines from Charlie, expressing concerns about trust and control. No one could verify whether they were real, AI-generated, edited, or entirely made up. But once emotional language is involved, logic stops matching online. The internet latched onto it, interpreting each line as evidence of private turmoil. By early November, conspiracy-level analysis was everywhere. Fans built timelines, charts, breakdowns, and entire video essays comparing Charlie's old behavior to his final months. They re-examined interviews, body language, and every public appearance for clues. Anything Erika did or didn't do became part of the narrative. And then came the moment that split the internet completely: the award ceremony. 11 days after Charlie's passing, Erika stepped onto a glowing stage in a perfectly styled gown, delivering a polished, confident speech while accepting an award meant to honor him. Some praised her for her strength, calling her composed and resilient. But critics said her demeanor was too calm, too ready, and too self-assured. Comment sections exploded instantly. "I'd be shattered. How is she like this?" And "She looks like she's absorbing the spotlight, not grieving." Fans who had stayed silent suddenly picked sides. Commentators began analyzing her tone, her posture, her facial expressions. And right when the online hysteria was at its peak, the leak dropped, the alleged secret note, the document that some said Charlie wrote, others claimed was doctored, and still others insisted someone tried to bury. And just like that, the timeline didn't feel like a coincidence anymore. It felt like a countdown. A countdown to something the internet believes was never meant to be seen. The fallout from the leak didn't happen slowly. It hit like an explosion, with shockwaves spreading through social media, news commentary channels, and fan communities faster than anyone could keep track. Within hours, the alleged secret note shifted from a fringe rumor shared in small threads to the biggest talking point across multiple platforms. And what made it even more intense was the timing. People felt as if the leak was confirming everything they had been speculating about, everything they had been dissecting for months. In their minds, the narrative suddenly made sense, like puzzle pieces falling into place, even if some of those pieces were blurry, distorted, or missing entirely. Almost immediately, the first layer of consequences hit: the public perception collapse. Charlie had always been a figure associated with control, confidence, and clarity. Erika had been seen as grounded, polished, and supportive. But now, comments flooded the internet accusing them of living a double life, hiding secrets, pretending that their marriage and public partnership were stronger than they actually were. Fans began posting side-by-side clips of the couple from earlier years, comparing happy, energetic moments to more recent, tense interactions. The tone was obvious. How did things go from power couple to crumbling foundation without anyone noticing? One Twitter thread went viral for laying out the hypocrisy timeline, a dramatic list of moments people claim contradicted the couple's public image. It pointed out clips where they talked about loyalty, trust, and family values, statements that, in the eyes of viewers, now seem hollow. How can you preach about honesty while hiding something like this? One user demanded. Another said, the betrayal isn't just personal, it's moral. Everything they said. Publicly falls apart now. Of course, none of this is fact. It's just the internet deciding that a leak and a few resurfaced clips were enough to rewrite an entire story. Then came the second wave, the alleged behind-the-scenes fallout. People claiming to be insiders, though their identities were unverified, posted cryptic comments hinting at internal chaos. One user wrote, "You don't understand how much tension there was at headquarters. People were scared to speak." Another said, he didn't trust the people closest to him anymore. These posts lacked sources, evidence, or even context, but the dramatic tone made them spread like wildfire. Podcasts picked them up. Commentary videos discussed them as if they were part of a larger narrative. Soon, it felt like everyone online had an opinion about what was happening behind closed doors. The emotional stakes grew even higher when people began speculating about Charlie's family and close circle. Users debated how they might be reacting, whether they were shocked, hurt, or suspicious. Some imagined family members quietly trying to make sense of everything. Others constructed dramatic scenarios of arguments, confrontations, or revelations, even though nothing was confirmed. It didn't matter. The internet wanted a story, and it was building one out of fragments and guesses. What made the scandal even more gripping was the contrast between the couple's public image and the behavior people believed they were seeing privately. Fans replayed interviews where Charlie praised Erika's loyalty. They clipped speeches where Erika talked about unity and strength. They highlighted moments where both of them emphasized values like trust, transparency, and honor. In isolation, those moments seemed admirable. But now, in the shadow of the leak, viewers twisted them into something darker. This is what stings the most. One fan wrote, "They told us one thing while living something totally different. Whether that was actually true didn't matter. The emotional betrayal was real to the viewers who believed it. And the timeline only got more dramatic as users dug deeper. They pointed to months leading up to Charlie's passing and spun theories about anxiety, stress, and pressure building behind the scenes. Some said Charlie looked like a man carrying a weight he couldn't talk about. Others said Erika looked like someone working overtime to maintain her image. People claimed the contrast between their public polish and their alleged private chaos was the real scandal. A story of two people presenting perfection while allegedly dealing with something much darker. Commentators also began weighing in, fueling the narrative even more. One influencer said, "If that note is real, it changes the entire story." Another said, "It's not about the leak, it's about the deception leading up to it." Reaction channels made hour-long videos analyzing every word, every expression, every moment captured on camera in the couple's final year together. Clips that once meant nothing now became clues, evidence of tension, fear, betrayal, or secrecy. People slowed down footage to analyze body language and micro-expressions, convinced they were uncovering hidden truths. And the internet wasn't done. Soon, social media turned its attention toward Erika's behavior after Charlie's passing. The award ceremony became the focal point. Viewers dissected her movements, tone, wardrobe, posture, and even her breathing. Supporters called the criticism misogynistic and unfair. Critics insisted it was warranted because her demeanor didn't match the grief they expected. Comments like, "She seems too calm," and "This speech feels rehearsed" filled every corner of TikTok and YouTube. That moment cemented the emotional betrayal narrative. The internet decided there was a disconnect between grief and composure, between loss and public appearance, between the image she presented and the emotions people expected her to show. Whether that expectation was fair didn't matter. Emotion overshadowed logic. And then there was a question everyone kept repeating. If the leak was real, who hid it? Who knew about it? And why wasn't it brought forward sooner? The idea that something important was allegedly concealed created a sense of collective outrage. The public felt tricked. It wasn't just about Charlie and Erika anymore. It was about control, secrecy, and the fear that people had been watching a facade without realizing it. In the end, the consequences weren't just social. They weren't just emotional. They became cultural. The scandal became a symbol, a story the internet used to express its frustrations with public deception, curated images, and the illusion of perfection. Suddenly, this wasn't just about one couple. It was about how easily a polished public life can crumble when even one secret slips out. And yet, despite all the noise, all the theories, and all the emotional investment, one truth remains. None of it is confirmed. None of it is proven. But that doesn't stop the internet from believing the story they built. A story where betrayal, secrecy, and hypocrisy feel more real than the facts ever could. And now that everything is unfolded, the leak, the reactions, the speculation, the emotional whirlwind that hasn't slowed down for a single moment, the real question becomes, what do you think actually happened here? After watching how the internet connected the dots, how fans flipped from admiration to suspicion within minutes, and how the entire narrative reshaped itself overnight, it's impossible not to feel the weight of every rumor, every screenshot, every whisper that pushed this story into full-blown chaos. Was this genuinely a shocking betrayal that had been hiding in plain sight? Or did the internet build a storm out of shadows and half-truths because the mystery was too irresistible to ignore? Think about the contrast. The emotional facade the public believed versus the darker, messier version people now claim was behind the scenes. If any of those assumptions were true, would that change the way you see everything that happened? Would you feel deceived? Or do you think this entire scandal is proof of how